Today, I want us to look at the growth of mini bell pepper, and mini bell pepper are essentially smaller, sweeter, and often more colorful versions of regular bell peppers. Therefore, they come in a range of colors, including red, yellow, orange, and sometimes green. They are known for their crisp, tender taste and sweet flavor. If you're considering to grow mini bell pepper, first you need also to know what are the uses. They are used for snacking, salads, for roasting or the grilling, stuffing, garnishing, lunch boxes, pasta dishes, the dips, the pizza toppings, among many other very many uses that mini bell pepper can be used for. Therefore, you see, this is a type of a crop. Once you decide to grow it, it means at the end of the day, you will really have a large market where you will supply your mini bell pepper to sell and make the great profits that you require as a farmer. Welcome to this channel as we look at the requirements for growing mini bell pepper. To start with, we need to start seeds indoors, and this is what you need to know when you will be starting your seeds indoors. Sow seeds in a shallow flat or an egg carton filled with seed starting mix. One thing you need to know is that you need to fill those egg cartons or other shallow flats that you will decide to plant your mini bell pepper in. You need to fill them with the seed starting mix, and after you fill them with the seed starting mix, you need to cover seeds with about a quarter inch of soil to keep the mix moist but not wet. Please ensure you will cover your seeds a quarter inch, and ensure that you maintain the soil moist and not wet. Use a heat mat to maintain a soil temperature of 80 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And after that, you also ensure once seeds emerge, please ensure that you lower the temperatures to around 50 degrees Fahrenheit. To the next part is where you look at the transplanting of the seeds. And what do you need to know about the transplanting of the mini bell pepper seeds? When the seeds have a few set of true leaves, transplant them into individual pots of 50 cells flats. Those are the requirements that you need to observe about the pot that you will be transplanting mini bell pepper to. It should be 50 cells flats. Next part that you need to be observant is about harden off seedlings by gradually exposing them to outdoor conditions for a week before transplanting. Choose a location with at least 6 to 8 hours of sunlight daily. Ensure the location that you will choose to plant your mini bell pepper seeds or seedlings will be receiving a range of 6 to 8 hours of sunlight each and every day. Amend the soil with compost or well-rooted manure. Remember, once you amend your soil with compost or well-rooted manure, it will help increase your soil fertility, and it will also help in retainance of the water levels in your soil, as well as it will also act as a suppressor to the weeds. Space plants 18 to 24 inches apart, depending on the variety. Depending on the variety that you choose to grow in your farm, please ensure that you space the plants 18 to 24 inches apart. Provide support. Use stock, tomato cages, or trellises to support the plant, especially as they grow and bear fruits. Please ensure that after you have planted and after your mini bell pepper plants have started to grow, please ensure that you provide support. There are various supports that I've given you. Either you can decide to use stock, tomato cages, or trellis, among many other various support systems that you can use to ensure that your mini bell pepper plant grows effectively. To the watering and fertilizing, this is what you need to know. Water regularly, especially during dry periods. When you know you will not be receiving the rains, please be cautious and ensure that you always have put some mechanisms that you will use to ensure that your mini bell pepper plants are always watered. Fertilize with a balanced fertilizer every few weeks. or as needed. After every few weeks, please ensure you always fertilize. You can also note when they require the fertilizer as a farmer, because fertilizer aids in the growth of each and every crop that you decide to grow. It will help it produce effectively. Therefore, once you notice there are kind of deficiencies in the plant, ensure that you fertilize effectively, and you can also take a few weeks period or duration from one period of fertilizing to the other. You can give it a few weeks so that you can keep track on the fertilizing process. To the harvest mini bell pepper when they reach the desired size and color, usually when they are firm and fully colored. You will notice once they are ready for the harvest. This is because once they are ready for harvest, they usually are firm and they also have the full color. Therefore, you will be able to notice once they are ready. Additional tips that you need to know when you will be growing mini bell pepper: soil. Pepper thrive in a well-drained, fertile soil with a pH of 6.5 to 7. Please ensure before you plant this mini bell pepper plant, you already know what is your soil pH. And if your soil pH is not within the range of 6.5 to 7, you take the corrective measures in order to achieve this soil pH so that your mini bell pepper plant will produce the mini bell pepper effectively, or you will get that huge produce that you are expecting to have at the end of the day. For the sunlight, aim for 6 to 10 hours of sunlight per day. You ensure that the region or the location that you will choose to plant your mini bell pepper plant, ensure that they receive 6 to 10 hours of sunlight each and every day. Containers, mini bell pepper do well in containers, making them a good option for smaller spaces. Please, if you do not have that large space as a farmer and you would really like to practice farming, this is one type of a crop that will favor you as a farmer, since these mini bell pepper crops do well in containers. Therefore, you'll not have to complain about the space for you to become an effective farmer. And remember, people have improvised very nice containers that occupy a very small space and at the end of the day produce in large numbers, as if you're doing the farming itself in the farm. Therefore, even if you have a small space, you can consider using these containers to help you continue with your farming desire or with the farming visions that you have as a person. Overwatering, avoid overwatering as it can lead to root rot and other issues. Another contributor to root rot is when your soil does not have good drainage. Therefore, you can use other ways to increase your soil drainage. For example, using the organic matter and the compost manure will help you increase the soil drainage of your soil. Therefore, it means the probability of you experiencing the waterlogging that leads to root rot will be minimal. So if you realize that your soil has some challenges with the drainage of the water, please ensure you use either organic matter or the compost matter to improve on your soil drainage. Pest and diseases control. Monitor plants for pests and diseases and take appropriate action if needed. Please, you have to ensure that you are always visiting your farm regularly to check and see what is the progress of your mini bell pepper plants and what are the corrective measures that you should be taking if any is required. Remember, they have a possibility of being affected by various types of pests and various types of diseases. Therefore, it's for you as a farmer to be that close to those crops and ensure you always visit your farm in order to notice the type of challenges that you might be facing and take the necessary corrective measures. And do not wait until it's too late for you to take those corrective measures, because once you wait, for example, if your crops have been affected by the pest or the disease and you take a long time before you take the corrective measure, it means then at the end of the day you are likely to suffer some losses. For the maturity, some mini bell pepper are ready for harvest as little as 90 days. What a nice crop that you can consider to grow as a farmer, because at the end of the day, once you sell this produce, it means you'll get a lot of profit and you will have some financial stability at the end of the day. I hope all farmers can consider growing this type of a crop, or you can even consider trying to see how it will perform in your farm, and at the end of the day, I know you will be a grateful farmer. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, share, hit that notification bell so that each and every time I'll be uploading, you will be notified. Till we meet in the next one, bye bye.